Hey guys, it's me NC again, and I'm back with a new video. I'm back out of my shell, out of my shift work, because I need to explain something to you guys, and this super important, super vital, and I feel that it is only important for me to actually talk to you guys about the truth and only the truth, and which is Ollie London blasting Jackson Wang on TikTok and other social media platforms about what he has claimed Jackson has done to the Uyghur Muslims in China. Now, what is it actually in context? Well, Ollie London, who I honestly don't know what he does, really. Like, what is he's a pop star with inverted commas, whatever. He did a few music stuff, whatever. He did multiple plastic surgeries to look like Jimin. He actually claims that he's South Korean, which is so problematic. This is not even cultural appropriation. This is one step further. You don't just take an ethnicity, put it on like an outfit and say, hey, I'm South Korean, hey, I'm Japanese, hey, I'm Chinese. Like, that's so problematic. But he tells people to mind his own business when he can't even mind his own business when it came to Jackson Wang. Like, what is wrong with him? And yeah, so he claims he's South Korean and he did multiple plastic surgeries to look like Jimin. That should be two major ass red flags for you guys. But exactly what happened? Well, he took a 30-second clip out of a 7-minute clip that Jackson talked. It's actually a recording. He did a speech during a stop for his Magicman tour. If you're not a fan, you wouldn't know, which is why I'm telling you right now. He's on tour right now. He is doing a world tour. He has visited Singapore, Malaysia. He went to Paris, London. He's going to the US. He's going to Lollapalooza, India. He's making his rounds. My man is getting his check. But anyways, yeah, so they took a 30-second clip out of a 7-minute clip. And before we start anything, I'm just going to bring up a transcript of what Jackson has said for you to make your own judgment what the speech actually is all about. Let's go. Jackson, I just feel super bad for him. Whatever people are doing to him right now, the reactions people are showing on TikTok and YouTube and how it's blowing up, it simply amplifies whatever he was trying to say, that people are negative towards Chinese people. There's a lot of xenophobia going on, people just having an anti-Chinese sentiment about stuff, and it's so disturbing, honestly, for a person like me, for a third person, for an outsider to be observing all of this from just like an outsider point of view. And honestly speaking, like, he made the speech what it was not. If you actually saw the whole speech, he was talking about anti-Chinese propaganda. And if you're not used to it, or you've been living under a shell, you know that COVID hit the world in 2020 and caused all of us to suffer. Even though there were some good things, but people just couldn't see, ozone layers are better, animals are better, the society is better. There's a lot of, it's like a break in this world because it keeps moving, right? And with the pandemic, people are doing social distancing and they are, doing good stuff for the environment, but people can't see that. And people kept blaming China for spreading the virus and, saying that it originated from Wuhan and all of this. And my man is sick of that. He's gonna step up and tell you guys that the anti-Chinese rhetoric is not being appreciated in this household, clearly. And there were a lot of anti-Chinese, anti-Asian hate crimes that were going on in the West. And even Uncle Roger, who seems like happy and fun and comedic on YouTube, like, you guys didn't know, or you guys probably didn't know, that in 2020 he got hit by someone randomly on the street. And there is reason to suspect that it was ethnically motivated. Like, these things are happening, and Jackson Wang just went up on stage to tell you guys to stop with this anti-Chinese propaganda, spreading nonsense about Wuhan and COVID and all that, and just to stop, to actually appreciate the people for what it is, to appreciate the culture, and to actually appreciate Chinese people for who they are. And that was only like, honestly speaking, that was only 1/3 of a whole speech. If you actually saw what the speech was, 1/3 was about the propaganda, and then the rest was about finding your own self, finding your own value, finding your own individualism. He knows how much value people put on celebrities. He knows how much attention is being put on them, how much pressure is being put on celebrities to showcase the best, to show things that the world wants to see, what society expects of them. He wants people to be empowered. He wants you to take your own life by the hands and tell yourself that you can do it and that you are uniquely you, and only you can help yourself, and only you can live your best life. That was literally 2/3 of the speech. And he was talking about finding your own happiness. He keeps telling, like, you should know that you are special. He used expletives just to emphasize the fact that you are special and that you are wonderful and you are on your own path to creating greatness. That was 2/3 of the speech. Is this made viral on TikTok? No. The 1/3, or should I say 1/4 of the thing that was taken horribly out of context is the thing that's going viral on social media. Do you think it's fair for this man? I think it's amazing that he actually went out of his way to tell people, hey, you should live your best life. Take something from this concert and not just have fun and then go home, like really take something and figure something to do out of your own life. I know people were coming against him for using expletives, but some people who are, motivational speakers, they have their own unorthodox ways of telling people to do stuff. It works. It's a bit rude, I guess. People wouldn't be like fine when you use expletives, but it gets the point across. It's not like something where you are directly just insulting this person with expletives and wanting a negative outcome. It's to push you forward and tell you, hey, you know what, you can do it. Like, I believe in you. Just using that to emphasize a point, not to criticize you or to make yourself feel bad. People should know the difference between all those stuff. And I know, like, because of what happened during the tour, people just nitpicking weird things and telling other people, like, hey, Jackson's going through something and all that. You know what? It is excellent fodder. Entertainment videos, I'm saying Cookie Lit and a lot of other K-pop so-called, like, portals. They are like the spill of K-pop, SPILL. You really don't know who's behind all these videos. There's a voice. There's someone reading it out to you, but all this, content are being curated together. You don't know who does that. You don't know who is compiling all this information together, reading out these videos, making the videos, cutting clips from several interviews, putting them together. All these things need to be taken with a pinch of salt because you don't know where this source is coming from. Obviously, when the social media erupted with what happened with Ollie London criticizing Jackson, everyone was so quick to criticize him and jump onto the hate bandwagon without clearly analyzing what it is. So, like social media or like gossip sites, they just take one bad thing and then make it bigger. That's not what it is. And, if people start to bring out receipts about how Jackson pulled.
In the video as well, they linked the Xinjiang Adidas issue together with the unrelated speech that was made in London. Certain countries have made certain choices, and it is not in my position to decide what is right or what is wrong. But it is also disturbing that they are making Jackson the scapegoat and the forefront of all these issues that they have problem with. Is it fair for one person to bear the brunt of it all? And besides, there is no instance in the speech where they mentioned about the cotton or the Xinjiang issue. So he is not Islamophobic.
Why are you making this person the face of it all? If you live in somewhere in another country, in whatever land, do you identify with the decisions made by your leaders? So why is this man here the target of your disdain or your anger or your frustration? It's not fair for somebody to bear the brunt of everything. You get what I mean? And I'm so sorry, but people are so quick to criticize sometimes. People who are not mentally well, celebrities, people who are very prominent in the public, they see all these things. If you're not mentally well to sieve it out and to know that this is not you, this is what they are thinking about you, you will take it all wrongly and you might think that it's all on you. We are always advocating for mental health and speaking up for people and advocating for ourselves, but are we doing the right things to make sure that this environment or people or internet is a better place to live in? We find something, we nitpick it, and we make this person the face of all our problems. And during the London tour itself, he did a small, intimate fan gathering with a few very lucky fans. And it might interest you guys to know that one of them is actually a hijabi, a Muslim like me. You know, he is supportive. He likes everyone. You know, he doesn't discriminate. He doesn't judge. And then people were so saying, like, he was saying that he was doing weird things, he's going through something, he's lonely, blah blah blah. You know, just because he does not act like your typical K-pop idol does not mean that he's doing something wrong or he's doing something criminal or something different. He's now beyond a K-pop artist. He has so much freedom and like creative control to do what he wants and what he puts out in, you know, in the public. I think he should be left to be making his own decisions. Like Taylor Swift does listening parties with some of her fans for 1989 and for like so many other albums like Lover and all that, and no one, you know, bats an eyelid. If he wants to be closer to his fans and get to know them, you know, and they are able to maintain boundaries and everything is in good faith and people are nice and people are not like ramming phones in his face, why not let him do what he wants? And he is so vulnerable what he struggles, that I feel like you guys really don't know how to appreciate him. When he goes out in interviews and he says like, hey, I was struggling with depression, you know, I used to do this, I used to drink myself, blah blah blah. It's not for you to be like, oh my god, he's going through a hard time, he's such a bad role model. No. What he does is he's humanizing himself. He wants you to know that your struggles are valid too, and that you who are struggling out there, we all have problems, how we deal with them, how we try to bring ourselves out of that. And you know, the fact that he is so vulnerable and open to share about his problems, it just goes to show that he cares as a human being, and he wants you to feel better, and he wants you to know that you're not alone. I think he should be lauded for everything that he has said and not criticized and you know, being made like entertainment fodder, like, oh, Jackson's going through something, Jackson's going through the D word, or he's lonely. Yeah, of course, celebrities are lonely. It's not uncommon to know, because they don't have real, genuine people around them. They don't know who actually can help them, and they don't know who has genuine intentions. We don't even have to look at celebrities. We can even look at ourselves, like in our own workplaces, and you know, when it comes to our careers, like how many people are actually genuinely there to help us. So honestly speaking, I feel like this whole matter has been blown out of proportion, and I feel like Jackson loves Muslim people. You know, he is tolerant, he is accepting, he does not discriminate, he loves everyone, and he has been that from the start of his career until now. And for me to see all this online and seeing Ollie London of all people, you know, bringing my man down, like, it's so ironic. And people should take a step back and figure out like, who is this Ollie London? Is he even genuine in the first place? Like, at least we have Jackson, who is ethnically Chinese and proud of his own racial identity and wanting to show people about Chinese people, and you know, someone who has pride in himself, rather than someone who casually just puts on a race or ethnicity as something that, you know, you can put on. Like, okay, so now you're South Korean, do you know what South Koreans go through on a daily basis? Are you willing to go through, you know, some of the things that they go through on a daily basis, or are you just using it as a privilege? So yeah, and on my rant, I hope you guys, you know, reflect on what the things I just said and stop taking things out of context and actually use your brains to figure out what's going on. Thank you. Bye.